in the 76ers lineup tonight for the first time since February. Well, he's been recovering from a knee injury. Now, Embiid only played in 19 games last season, and he's only played in 58 games in his last 2 seasons. So with Embiid ready to return, this is what the 76ers lineup could look like if everyone is healthy. But of course, we know that Paul George will be out to start the season, so we'll have to wait a little longer to see this, but we will only have to wait a couple of hours to see Joel Embiid as we welcome you inside our Los Angeles studio. We have a former teammate of Joel Embiid's in the building, Danny Green, a 3-time champ, another champ, Kendrick Perkins, and our senior writer, Ramona Shelburne. Ramona, I'm going to start with you here. What exactly is the plan for Joel Embiid tonight? Because it feels like just a week ago we were talking about how he may not be ready for the start of the regular season.
Well, he's been feeling good, and I think that it's good for the Sixers to have him out there, but it's more important for him to see how he comes through any game action. So how he feels after this preseason game is going to be as important as he's feeling on the court. I don't think he's going to play all that much. I would be surprised if he went more than 20 minutes or something in this game. But just seeing him out there and then seeing how he recovers from this game is very important.
Yeah, it's one of those things where usually when players are coming back from a timeline like this, you're going to be looking at maybe in the 15, 20 minutes range for a star like Joel Embiid. Perk, you're giving me a look.
Look at that face. Look at that face.
Don't seem like a plan to me, or the right plan. I mean, one preseason game, the last preseason game, usually is 2 or nothing, right? Nobody wants one of anything. I don't want one wing. I don't want one bottle of water. I don't want one cookie, right? And you talk about how he's going to recover, do 2 preseason games. To me, this is more so, I get it, Joel Embiid wants to be on the floor. I applaud him. He looks in phenomenal shape. But this is more so of giving the Philly fan base hope more so than anything, because I wouldn't let him play tonight. To me, it's
the equivalent of one cookie?
Yeah.
I will say this.
Yes, the last preseason game, limited minutes, you might as well wait till the regular.
I think this is a great start. I'm a glass half full type of guy, so if I'm the Philly fans, I'm happy that he's at least starting the season. We see him healthy. We see him out on the court. So I'm excited to see the big fella play. I know it's different for the group. I remember I was lucky enough to have him play at least 85% of the time. This group is used to playing without him. So it changes the offense and defense dynamic tremendously, especially offensively. They go through him at every possession. So now it's going to change the game, but also mentally and emotionally. When you have a guy like that not playing, you just don't know what you're going to get every night. When you're playing with him at full health, you still don't know what you expect. But Joel is such a great player. Night in, night out, you know when you have him that you have a good chance. But without him, it's a different story. But I'm just happy to see that he's out there. Obviously, want to see his movements, how well he moves. But this is it's a glass half full moment for the city of Philly. Like, having him available right now, they got to be excited about it.
I will say this. There's a lot that he can't control. There's a lot that people in Philly, when you call them, they say, we honestly don't know how this is going to go. But the thing he can control is his weight, and they're very happy with where he is in terms of what he weighs right now, how he looks out on the court.
And that really, I mean, that should be part of this entire equation here, Perk. For Philly, though, a healthy Joel Embiid. You played with a healthy Joel Embiid. What can that do for the 76ers season?
I mean, he's an MVP caliber player. So hands down, if his body responds the way they expect him to, if he can get back to that level, they're for sure a playoff team. They were in the play-in, they're in the lottery. That's a different type of story if he's on the floor for at least 60 games of this season.
Right.
So with him, you have every chance. You have a night. Every night you have a chance.
Yeah.
Sorry. And in the playoffs, even if you're a 6 seed, you have a chance to beat in the East. You know how open the East is. They can beat any one of those top seeded teams, whether it's Cleveland or if it's Boston. Boston's different this year. The only team that I don't see them being is the New York Knicks. But outside of that, you have a chance to get to far in the playoffs if you have a healthy Joel Embiid.
I think it's also important that he wants to be out there. Like, he knows that they've built this team around him. He knows how much money he makes, and he feels terrible when he's not able to play.
He's feeling the
I've talked to him about it. He wants to be out there.
Right.
He wants to be the guy that this team can be built around.
And again, I don't know about you guys, but this is sooner than I expected to see Joel Embiid on the floor. So again, Joel Embiid available for this final preseason game for the Philadelphia 76ers. I want to get to some more preseason injury updates for you all. Starting here in Los Angeles, Bradley Beal. He's going to be making his return, his Clippers debut rather, tonight for their final preseason tilt against the Warriors. Is that another just one cookie for you? Beal, remember, he'd been recovering from arthroscopic knee surgery that happened this offseason. As for the Los Angeles Lakers sticking in LA on this final night of the preseason, JJ Redick said that this is going to be a dress rehearsal. That's how he's going to be treating this game against the Kings. So all of the team's available rotation guys are going to be out there. We expect to see Luka Doncic for the second time this preseason. But of course, they will be without LeBron James, who is out to start the season with sciatica. Now, the Lakers, they're a different team without LeBron, of course. Since coming to LA in 2018, the Lakers play at a 49-win pace with him. That plummets to 34-win pace without him. We have the best stats team in the business, but I do take this with a little grain of salt because the majority of those games, they were not during Luka Doncic's tenure here. So the final night of the preseason here, Danny, what are we going to be talking about tomorrow about the Los Angeles Lakers after seeing their full complement minus LeBron?
Just how they look as a group and what DeAndre Ayton actually brings with that tandem with him and Luka, because that's pretty much the most important thing. Luka having a big that can roll, put pressure on defense, be a lob threat, and defensively. You know, I've liked what I've seen from him thus far. He's been very impressive running the floor, talking on defense, being active, blocking some shots, getting rebounds. That's what they lacked last year. You know, Rudy Gobert, 30 and 20 because they didn't have a big man. He's got to be the guy to kind of, you know, offset those issues. So I'm looking at DeAndre Ayton mostly. Rui, see how he steps up without LeBron James, how well he can score the ball, but also defensively. So they got to do it collectively. You're not going to be able to do it one person, you know, with the missing of LeBron James.
Tonight is going to answer a lot of questions for us as far as who's going to be in the rotation, who's going to be in the starting lineup, because he said a dress rehearsal. Usually when you have a dress rehearsal, you know, in the marriage the day before you get married, that's the people that
you have all sorts of analogies
today,
today,
people who are going to be in your
nice
wedding.
Dress, but not your wedding dress.
Yeah, but that's the people who are going to be in your wedding. So he's basically telling us, hey, what you see is who's going to be in my rotation. Right. And like Danny said, it's about the chemistry, right? How's Marcus Smart going to fit in? DeAndre Ayton, we've seen great signs from him. His mindset seems in the right place for us defensively. But most importantly, after a showing like Gabe Vincent had, what type of minutes is he going to have in the rotation? Where's Rui Hachimura? Where he's going to play? So that's what we're going to see. We're going to see who's actually going to be in the rotation and expect that whatever lineup and players that J.J. Redick plays tonight, that's going to be the players that's going to start the season.
Okay, but of all of those players, the most important one tonight, it's Luka Doncic, right?
It's Luka Doncic. This is his team now. I mean, until LeBron comes back, he's got the ball in his hand. The Lakers are his future, his present, and I think you got to play where you don't know when LeBron is coming back. They got to step up collectively, and I think they have learned how to play with Luka. I mean, they had a third of a season with him last year, but this is now his team, and this is only his second preseason appearance, so he's got to learn to find some rhythm with DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart. And I wonder how this defense is going to go, though, because Berg, your question is the right one. Who's going to be in that starting five? Is it going to be Marcus Smart?
I don't know, and I want to ask Danny this because it's been trending. Now, Ramona, Danny, y'all here, but Malika been surrounded by two big men, me and Big Boban, right? So it's trending around the world. Every team is going with a double big lineup. Danny, if you're the Lakers, do you go with your biggest lineup? Do you have Rui at the four?
You might not need that without Sabonis tonight, at least for tonight.
I think it changes regarding on the team that you're playing. But to me, Luka is the last guy that I'm worried about. It is his team, but the most important guy on the floor is DeAndre Ayton. That's right. Because they've all played together except with DeAndre Ayton. And of course, Marcus Smart, another guy. But he is the focal point to me. His mindset, how he attacks, approaches the game. Him and Luka, two-man game. Austin Reeves. And of course, early signing Jake LaRavia. If he can shoot, stretch the floor, they need some shooting. But DeAndre Ayton is the guy for me. I
hate to tell you this, Danny. You're starting to sound a lot like Kendrick Perkins over there. He's been preaching that all week. Hey, it's time now to take a look at some highlights from last night. Our big three. Perk, all these are dunks, just for you. These are dunks from the preseason. We're going to start with J.D. Davison, showing out in Atlanta for the Houston Rockets. This is the final tune-up game of the season. We didn't see a lot of we didn't really see much of the Rockets return guys. We did see that.
He used to be my son's favorite high school player.
He was unbelievable in high school.
KD and Alfie loving it too. We had to shake the cameras a little on that one. All right, at number 2, let's keep the high flyers rolling. This is the Pelicans versus the Magic, and Zion Williamson went to work in the paint all night long.
Skinny Zion. What you got?
I'm a baby Steeler fan.
That's not a windmill? We're so close.
That's easy for him.
I feel like he might have jumped higher when he was heavier, though.
Well, Jeremiah Fears looking like the rest of us. When Zion does that, right? And then in the same game, not to be outdone, Zion lobs this one up to Trey Murphy III, who punched it home. Is this a windmill?
This is the high flyer.
Oh, my goodness. That's
not a ceiling fan.
My bad, young fella. I wasn't good with the game. I didn't know he had that.
Plenty more of these when the season comes rolling around early next week. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, that's the full complement win, Phil. Preseason action. We're almost done with the preseason, y'all. But first, we head to Florida. That's where Paolo Banchero and the Magic finished their preseason undefeated. They beat the Pelicans last night. Now get this, Kevin Pelton's full season simulation has Orlando winning the championship. Danny, are you buying or selling the algorithm?
I'm not buying it. You got to re-simulate that. I don't know what you got going on there. But this is a very good team. I see them going pretty far in the playoffs, or at least the second round. They got better. Desmond Bane, one of my favorites to watch play. So, yes, it's a good young team. But winning it all, that simulation's got to be wrong.
You curious how many games and over who? 7 games against the Golden State Warriors.
Is that what he had?
The computer says, yep.
I think both those teams might be wrong.
Let's get to Detroit basketball. Cade Cunningham put on a show against the Wizards. 16 points, 12 assists. 7 of those dishes were to Jalen Duren, accounting for 14 of his team-leading 20 points. So, Perk, what do you like about their connection?
It's called growth. We know that Cade Cunningham could go out there and get his, but now making sure that everybody eats, especially your big man, losing Tim Hardaway Jr., losing Malik Beasley, need someone to pick up that load offensively. I believe that Jalen Duren could be that guy.
Isn't that your commercial? It's like grandma's on a Sunday. Everybody eats. Sticking in Detroit, it just wasn't all good news, though. Jayden Ivey, unfortunately, he's going to miss the next 4 weeks following a right knee surgery. He missed the last 49 games of the regular season last year. Ramona, what impact does this have?
Oh, this is really sad because the reason why they were okay letting Dennis Schroeder go and Tim Hardaway go and all those guys in free agency is because they thought Jayden Ivey was coming back. So this is unrelated to the left fibula. He broke his leg on New Year's Day last year. It's unrelated, but it's a knee on the same side. And I think we're going to see a lot more of Asar Thompson.
Yeah, we will, but hopefully he gets back soon because we know the joy that he plays with, right? The Pistons, they won their playoff games last season for the first time in 17 years, and now they're aiming to go further to break through to the next level of Eastern Conference contenders. And here's a look who has the most playoff wins in the East over the last 5 years: the Celtics, the Bucks, and then look who's right behind them. It's the Miami Heat, newly minted Team USA coach Eric Spoelstra. So for more on what Spo is looking to bring from his Heat team this season, let's step into the coach's corner, shall we, with our Tim Legler. I love this segment.
Legs.
And now let's look at some of that offense from a year ago and putting the ball in your best player's hands a year ago.
Okay.
And just talk about this action, what you say, we're going to let this play all the way through. We're going to see multiple angles of this on replay. So if at any point you want to stop it, just tell them to stop it.
Okay, let's stop right here. I mean, the first thing is anything with Tyler and Bam for us, particularly last year, was a good action. And the subtle part of this play, and there's a few teams that were doing this the last few years, this is an open side pick and roll. You can let it play a little bit.